welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What is up, party people? Happy Thursday. We are back. It's game one of the NBA Finals is tonight. It is time for me to go on vacation. Yeah, I'm glad we planned that appropriately. Just a reminder, no official show tomorrow. I'll find a way to sprinkle a little content in your face on Friday morning, but I don't think we're not going to have a full NBA bit. So there you go. There's just some news for you up top. Who do we got in the chat this morning? I see Sneeps up in here. Federico. Snoopaloop's letting us know, hey, Mike, it's National Heimlich Maneuver Day. I think it's important we recognize that. So for my Heimlich hives out there, happy National Heimlich Maneuver Day. Get out there. Save some lives. We got David C. making his return. Welcome back, David. The common man's here. Stubbs, good morning. Jump Shooty up in the house. Jericho, let's go. Garen, 3 days kicking at the lake with the fam. Ready to be back. Hey, listen, I'm glad you enjoyed some lake time. Who else we got? We got Cameron Quinlan. Ryan's in the house. Only one more month till Bobby Bonilla Day. That's a great point. Jump shoot. Maddie Harrison. We are going to be talking some Detroit. Stands up in the chat. Who else we got? DJ Local. Best day to choke. Oh, yes. Yeah. So that's right. Because Heimlich Maneuver Day. Yeah, if you're ever going to do it on a holiday. Or on National Heimlich Maneuver Day, is it the other way? Should you not choke on that day? Because for 364 days, everyone's out there saving some lives with the maneuver day. This is for the day for the Heimlich hive to kick back and relax. You know what I'm saying? So maybe don't choke today. If you're going to choke tomorrow. Jump Shoot saying LG and Mike on vacation at the same time. Yeah, why would they do that? Why would they do that? I know. Yeah, it didn't look, there was like a hot minute where it didn't look like I was going to be, or I was still going to be traveling, but not for vacay. But yeah. So just for the party people, the content schedule for the rest of the week was this. This is it. This is the last show for the rest of the week. And then I'm going to be gone for the weekend and I'm getting back Monday night. So there'll be no NBA bit on Monday as well. I might, because we'll have game 2 of the finals on Sunday, I might try to do something Monday evening when I get back. It'll depend on the schedule. We'll see. Or maybe I'll just fucking relax, Maybe I'll just relax and not force myself to do content. All right, yeah, Andre, I'm very excited to talk about this. So we're going to talk about Monty Williams got hired by the Pistons. We're going to talk about that this morning. We will be talking about, so I read an interesting article about our friend Joe Mazzulla. So that'll be a fun read as well. And the Celtics just in general. And then I've got a fun little iconic playoff moment thing that I want to talk about too towards the end. But it'll be a little bit of an abbreviated show. We're not going to go the full distance today, okay? We're not going to go the full distance. Also, just real quick, if you guys missed out yesterday, and you are a football fan, speaking of running backs, like Andre put in the chat, John Boy and I started our new weekly best ball football show we're going to be doing on Wednesday nights. It was kind of fun. We talked a little bit about strategy when it comes to drafting fantasy football in freaking June, but talked a little bit about underdog and just kind of dove in. We just dove into everything, and we did a draft as well. So we're going to be doing that every Wednesday for the foreseeable future. So check that out. I think that's it. For like information that you need right now. But of course, because it's the NBA bit, we're going to give something away here. So do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe, #game1 into the chat. Be curious to see how share screen works today. For you fools that were here yesterday, we saw a share screen just like have a mind of its own. I think we're back in action, though. All right. I think that's it. That's it for the stuff that we needed to cover to set the table, So we got game 1 tonight. That tips off. Are all the games at 8:30? Did the Mountain Time Bros get screwed again? Or all the games at 8:30? I do kind of like that we're not getting any 10:30 games. That is nice. We got a doggo sighting early in the morning. Let's see. So tonight we've got, so game 1 is tonight. What's going on here with the NBA app? What you doing, bro? Now it's saying we don't have any game. All right, here we go. 8:30 tonight. And then Sunday, game 2, 8 o'clock. Oh, yeah, we move it up a little bit early on Sunday. At least Succession and Barry are over. So after Sunday, we then flip over to Wednesday, back to that 8:30 grind. And then not again until, then Friday. So Wednesday, Friday, and then Monday again. So there you go. That's going to be the upcoming schedule. Jump Shoot says, how bad are the ratings going to be? I don't know if you're just trying to set me off. The ratings are going to be fine. Guys. The same people, like, outside of the people who are like, oh my God, LeBron James. I think it's going to be fun. Jordan's in the chat. Dude, Stan, waking up angry again. I don't know. Is this what you were like when you're intimate too? Like they said I would never come again. Like, is that the same energy you bring to sex? Like, what's happening? What's happening, Stan, with that? Like, it just they doubted me. They doubted me. No one ever believed that I could complete this again. And then there you go, Stan. I love it. I would love to just be, actually, I wouldn't. I don't think I could be. People think I'm angry all the time. And I mean, I stand next to me. I probably look like a Sesame Street character. Steve said he finished Barry. There we go. Mike Basson up in the house. Let's go. Let's go. I already said it. I think Miami's winning game 1, Stan. I think Miami's winning game 1, and then I think they're out in 6. Denver in 6 or 5. It might be, what do we call that? That's the old D-bag sweep, right? Shout out No Dunks. Yeah, I can see that. I do think Miami's winning tonight, though. And then Stan's going to be like, Stan's just going to be just shirtless tomorrow, just like living his best life. But I like that call. There we go, Jordan. I'm glad you're back, man. Ratings for the Eastern Conference Finals were the highest for TNT for the Celtics funeral. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? They went down 3-0 and then came storming back just to choke one more time. We are going to talk about the Celtics. I don't know how much we need to dive in to the NBA Finals today because we talked so much about it yesterday. It was fun. There was a lot of podcast prep and everything yesterday. No Dunks did a show. We had Zach Lowe had one come out. Bill Simmons just dropped one last night. But a lot of like similar takes here of just like, can they figure out how to stop Jokic? So I don't think we need to dive in too much. If you missed yesterday's show, go check that out. Oh, there we go, Stan. You got one on your side. Jordan says Heat in 6. I just don't know how we can doubt him. That's the thing. Denver should win this series, but Miami's been doing it all playoffs long, right? Going through Milwaukee, Bing Bong, and last but not least, the Boston Celtics. All right, let's talk a little bit about news and notes, and then we can see what happens in the chat. Jump shoot. We've been live for 8 minutes, and you've been here for the whole show. Let's talk a little bit about that signing. So Monty Williams goes to Detroit basketball. We need a drop. Where's the drop?
Detroit basketball. Detroit basketball.
Right, they got him. I read a report too on The Athletic. I didn't realize this. So they, the Detroit Brain Trust went to Monty. They were like, "Hey, what do you think?" Monty's like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not ready to decide if I want to coach. I'm leaning towards taking a year off." And then Detroit was like, okay. They went back. They were looking at dudes like Kevin Ollie, a couple of other assistants as well. Then they go back. They're like, we're not done yet. We're not done, Monty. And then they were like, what if we just paid you the most? What if we made you the highest paid coach in basketball right now? And Monty was like, check, please. I'm in. So he's the new coach. This deal is great. So there's an 8-year option, right? If he hits all of his incentives, 8 years, $100 million. $100 million over 8 years. I love it. He's also still getting paid by Phoenix. So I think technically he could make up to almost $20 million this year. But let's not include the Phoenix money. I wanted to do something, right? So let me look at, I forget. I looked this up and then I forget what the math was. Did I write it down? Maybe I wrote it down. No, I didn't. Okay. So let's say he makes 20 over 8 years, right? So, wait, that's wrong. Hold on. Oh my God. What's he making? He's making like 12 million a year, basically, right? Is that right? 12 million a year. I really wish I had written that down. So say he's making 12 million a year. Monty Williams, the new coach of the Detroit Pistons. Here we go. Let's go look at this real quick. I want to show you guys a little something. So if we look at the salaries over here on Hoops Hype, this is who is on Detroit's salary for this upcoming year, 23-24. Bojan of the Bogdanovic is making $20 million. Marvin Bagley, $12.5 million. Cade Cunningham, $11 million. One more time, Bojan making $20 million. Bags, Marvin Bagley, the second highest paid player on the Detroit Pistons. The third highest Pistons employee, Monty Williams. Monty Williams, let's go. Making more than Cade, making more than Alec Burks, making more than, making more than James Wiseman, making more than Jaden Ivey, Killian Hayes. Let's see some other wild Detroit Pistons on the books. RJ Hampton's still on the books. Is that right? Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart. Boy, that's crazy, huh? I think this is a great hiring, though. I mean, you saw Monty was a great coach with Phoenix, and I'm sure there were things to point at. I saw a wonderful tweet, I think, by Seeker on Twitter last night, who said, can't wait for Monty Williams to talk shit about James Wiseman in a press conference and then not talk to him for a full year. I love that. I love that energy. But listen, Monty Williams went into Phoenix, a team that had been just a doormat for I don't know how long, right? Years. When Devin Booker went from like a good stats, bad team guy to all NBA candidates to an NBA Finals appearance, took that team. Remember, they go to the bubble, they win out in the bubble, they go undefeated in the bubble, then they go to the NBA Finals. And then they flame out in the postseason 2 years in a row, right? Dallas just absolutely waxes them in Game 7 at their court. Then they blow up their team a little bit. They go get Kevin Durant, and then they lose in the playoffs to the Denver Nuggets. I don't know if that was Monty Williams' fault, but that's kind of new owner syndrome, right? They come in, he's like, "Give me KD. I need my own guy in there." And then there it is. Monty's out. But did a great job with Phoenix. I think he's now, he's going to a team like Detroit. We just rattled off the guys who were on that team. Bojan being like really the only vet who's meaningful in minutes, and a lot of young guys who's going to have a chance to build. They have the number 5 pick. They've got room to make some moves. Bottom line, making more than Caleb Martin. We love it. We love it. So anyways, I think this is a great hire for Detroit. It is kind of funny. Detroit loves to hire recent coaches of the year who have been fired, right? From Dwayne Casey to Monty Williams. But I think this makes a ton of sense. I think it's a good landing spot. I think it's nice that they don't have the pressure, kind of like when he first took over at Phoenix. They don't have the pressure to immediately perform at a high level. Obviously they want to take steps forward, but I don't think anybody's looking at the Detroit roster and probably like thinking, hey, 6 seed, right? So you get Cade coming back from injury. You had a successful rookie campaign from both Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren. You add whoever you're going to get for the 5th pick. I don't know. Maybe you sign some vets. Maybe just let Alec Burks cook. Who knows? But I think this is a good spot for Detroit. I know everybody's going to make, like I already did it, everybody's going to make a stink. Holy crap, he's making so much money. Who cares? Who cares? It's billionaires paying people and making them millionaires. I don't care. It's not my money. Pay them more. Pay them more. Give money more. So anyways, good hire. Jumpshoot says, should have hired Stan Van Gundy again. Retreads always work. Yeah, pass. What players at other teams is he getting paid more? That might be interesting too. Caleb Martin, I know that was mentioned in the chat. Caleb Martin is one. I mean, I don't know. Grant Williams, anybody making less than 12 million? Anybody in that single digit? All rookies. Can't look that up in real time though. That's a great question, Mike. Maybe we'll put that into a short. But yeah, great signing for Detroit. I think that's happy. Maddie says, with the salary cap getting more punitive, owners willing to spend big on coaching staff's amenities will be a huge advantage. That's a great point, right? Too, because that doesn't affect the apron, where you can just go drop a bag on a coach like that. There's 2 coaching vacancies left right now, right? So Toronto Raptors, we the North, still figuring out what is going to happen. They have lost their head coach, Nick Nurse. They have lost their assistant coach, Adrian Griffin, to the Bucks. And so who knows? Maybe JJ Redick's going to come out here, start chucking threes. Maybe they do a player coach. Siakam coaches the Raptors. I'm not really sure who has the inside path. There were rumors that Frederick Van Fleet, who I believe unrestricted free agent, is that right? Or restricted free agent? I can't remember. There's rumors of him actually reuniting, and it feels so good with Nick Nurse and Philadelphia 76ers. I wonder if that's a landing spot if somebody like James Harden says deuces. So there's that vacancy, and then there's the Phoenix Suns vacancy. Kevin Young, the lead assistant, according to Bill Simmons and whoever else has reported it, seems to be on the inside path, has the approval of not only the owner, Matt Ishbia, but also Kevin Durant. He seems to be like the guy that's going to get the gig. So those are the two vacancies left. When Tim Duncan says we the people, I saw somebody put right there talking about the Golden State Warriors, Bob Myers officially not coming back to Golden State. Is it the end of an era? That's what everybody was asking. And then I saw that Steve Kerr has 1 year left on his deal, and there hasn't been any talks about extension or anything like that. And I saw some erroneous report that Steve Kerr was going to go to San Antonio after Greg Popovich is done, which I thought was funny. Doc Rivers is not going to Phoenix. Doc Rivers, also, I just see David just saying Doc Rivers going anywhere. Doc Rivers is not, he's not going to Phoenix. Maybe Toronto. Doc, take a year off, man. Just go relax. Go hit some golf balls. Chill. I just need a break from here. Hey, we're doing a good job out there. I think we're getting back on defense. Just got to make shots. Just got to make shots. We can use a break from that. Although instead, we're probably going to get him sitting next to Stan Van Gundy saying those things. I want to talk about the Boston Celtics a little bit. From Boston. Because there was a report on The Athletic by Jared Weiss, and Jay King, just kind of breaking down what was going on in Boston and kind of wild stuff. So, but actually, before we get into the report, into that question, there was a report that came out that said, and they said this in a way that I felt was so misleading. So the report said Joe Mazzulla and the Boston Celtics looking to most likely lose. Actually, let me rephrase that. Sorry. The report came out that Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics were going to lose 3 of their assistants. And everyone was spinning that in a way that made it seem like Joe did such a bad job, all the assistants are leaving. And like, if you just sit there and think about it for a second, it makes perfect sense. Ime Udoka hired a lot of these guys. A lot of those assistants were brought on by Udoka. He was the guy that hired them. Udoka now has a new landing spot. It makes sense that those assistants would follow Udoka, not only because of that, but also because every single report, if Joe Mazzulla stays in Boston, which I think he is ultimately going to stay in Boston, every report has been like, they need to get strong veteran presence. They need a strong leadership presence on the assistant bench coach. So whether that's a former player or whether that's a longtime head coach that's now moving into an assistant role, that means the guys who are currently on the staff move further down, right? They move further down the bench into the second row, further away from an inevitable head coaching role. So, of course, they would leave that spot to go to a better spot to the guy that hired them to begin with. So I thought that report was just dumb. I thought it was dumb. I mean, not that the report itself was dumb. That's newsworthy. But the way that everybody spun that is just, I was like, what are we doing? Like, of course that makes sense. Jordan, I see your question. I'm going to come back to that in a second. But anyways, back to that report. If you guys subscribe to The Athletic, recommend reading this one. I thought it was pretty good. One thing that stood out, there was a lot of dialogue throughout in these post Game 7 comments of like Joe learning on the job, which I thought was true. Like, I thought, yeah, of course, that anybody who's a first-time coach is learning on the job. But the way the players were talking about it, it's kind of like, it was kind of like a backhanded thing. Like, they didn't want to say he didn't know what he was doing. So they like reframed it. Like, Malcolm Brogdon was talking about how, like, yeah, Joe was learning on the job how important it is to take timeouts when another team goes on a run. And he was like, and he made those necessary adjustments. But he was saying that was after they went down 3-0. So you're saying it took the 82 regular season, the 82 regular season. Wow. The 82 game regular season. It took the first round against the Hawks, the second round against the Sixers, and then 3 games, technically 4 games in the Eastern Conference Finals before that lesson sunk in. So I just thought it was so funny how these players were talking about it. One other thing too, like, clearly Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were super frustrated with the lack of playing time from both Grant Williams and Robert Williams. Boston Bay said they had a pretty good regular season record. From the All-Star break on, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and I believe Al Horford all had a negative net rating, which means the Celtics were worse when those guys were on the court, which clearly that shouldn't be the case because those are some of your best players. Jason Tatum was an MVP candidate at that time, right? Finished fourth in MVP voting. If there's something wrong there, right? There is something wrong there. So I think that's important. But they made it known that they wanted Time Lord to be back in the starting lineup. We heard that from Marcus Smart himself after Game 5 of the second round against the Sixers. There was also this report that they had talked to the coaching staff back in March, being like, "Where is Grant Williams? And why hasn't he played? Why hasn't Grant Williams played?" And there was no real answer to that. And I think that it seemed like the most common thread was that Joe and the coaching staff was focusing on offense. And the players were like, why aren't we focusing on defense? And that's why they wanted more of Grant and more of Time Lord. And clearly there was an identity shook. One thing that I thought was interesting, and part of this obviously is because Time Lord only played 35 games, but this stat cracked me up. The double front court of Al Horford and Robert Williams played 332 minutes together all season long, which is 160 fewer minutes than Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser. Whew, 160 fewer minutes than the front court dominant Lukey Cornett and Sammy Hauser kid. So I don't know. I think there's definitely some frustration, I think, in the Celtics locker room. There was also one of the owners, Wick Grusbeck, came again. This is according to the Athletics reporting. After Game 3, after they got blown out, came into the locker room, and I think Grant Williams was trying to clear the locker room, so it was players only. And Wick was just like, "Where are your balls? I need you to play with balls." Which I mean, owners coming in and yelling. You love to see it. So clearly there was some stuff going on. And listen, I think in any long season, especially with contending teams, any group of individuals put together for that amount of time, with that amount of stress on them, with the way that Udoka was like loved within the organization, the players loved him. They go to the finals. Then he was removed right before the season starts. Damon Stoudemire leaves halfway through the season to go coach Georgia Tech. Yeah, I mean, like, there's going to be stuff. There's going to be stuff that's going to bubble up. So I don't think any of that's crazy. I think moving forward, I don't think they're going to move off of Missoula. I will say reading that did make me think, like, man, if Tatum and Brown aren't sold on him, and maybe they were just playing nice this season because things were going well, but if they really aren't sold on him and they make a stink, Missoula could be gone. But I don't think so. I think he's going to be back. I think Joe Missoula is going to be back. What else we got here? Anything else about the Celtics in general? I don't know if there was anything else that I needed to hit on that. I just thought it was definitely worth reading. I thought it was worth reading. Oh yeah. Anyways, let's remind the people here: like the stream, subscribe, hashtag game one. Hashtag game one. We'll give away a little shot in here towards the end. I think I'm behind on a giveaway. Oh yeah, Sneeps. I'm behind on Sneeps giveaway. So I gotta hook my man up. So go ahead and do that. Summer targets for the Celtics. I don't know, man. I think they're gonna have to figure out I think they're going to figure out what they're doing with Jaylen Brown. Oh yeah, going back to Jordan's question. Jordan said, so my question for you, Brown, trade to the Blazers for the third pick in Simons? Do you think about it? I don't. Listen, I like Anthony Simons. Yeah, your giveaway too. That was the one I was talking about, but send it to Seems. I don't like that one. I don't think that's enough. I think that makes your team worse. I think Simons is fine. I think Anthony Simons is a fine player, but I mean, we saw it. I don't think you win with guards like that in the playoffs, in the finals. If that was like your main attraction guard, I don't think you win like that. I don't think Simons and Scoot or Simons and Miller give you a ceiling in the short term. So you would need Jason Tatum to be on board to not be good for the next couple of years. And I think that's too risky. I don't think you do that. I think Jaylen Brown, there was comments actually yesterday. I think Caleb Martin went on the Dan Levitard show and basically were like, yeah, we need to force Jaylen Brown left. That was what before, even if he wasn't hurt, you force him left. And then, man, I saw a couple of clips going on Twitter of just like him getting turned over every time he tried to switch the ball to his left hand. It's rough stuff. But I still think you're bringing him back. I think I'll continue to go to this. I think you do something with the front court and you find another guard. I think one of Marcus Smart or Malcolm Brogdon are on their way out. I don't know what you do with Al Horford and Time Lord. But listen, if you're not going to play Grant Williams and Time Lord can only play 30 to 40 games a year, you can't have 49-year-old Al Horford being your only big that you're relying on. So they need to shore up that. So they need to figure, they probably need one more guard. I think you hire Jaylen. Yeah, hire him. I think you extend Jaylen, give him the Supermax and figure it out. But it'll definitely, they're in one of the more intriguing spots. And I know I mentioned this yesterday, but man, everybody's going to be in this same situation. I think we're focusing on the Celtics right now because people are a little uncomfortable giving Jaylen Brown $295 million, giving him a Supermax because he made the All-NBA team. Tesla said, do you believe the narrative that Brown wants to be a number one option somewhere? I don't know. I think everybody wants to be a number one option, you know? I saw some reports about maybe him going to Houston for like the 4th pick and something else, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum like playing together. I think they like playing together. So I think they're going to continue to play together. He also can't get that money that he can anywhere else. So he's going to get him. He's going to get the extension. 35% more if he stays with Boston. It's a no-brainer. All right, I wanted to do one other thing today that might take a little bit of time, and I might need some of the chat's help. But I saw somebody on Twitter. Tweet out about the Derek White tip-in and being like, as a Celtics fan, or like any Celtics fan would need that moment. An iconic playoff moment. Game 6, it looks like the Heat are going to wrap it up. Jimmy Butler goes to the line, knocks 3 down. Marcus Smart throws a Hail Mary 3 up with a little under than 3 seconds left. Derek White comes out of nowhere, tips it in, forces a Game 7, only to lose Game 7. So it made me try to think, what other iconic playoff moments don't matter, right? Because I just totally disagree with that sentiment. I don't think anybody is going to remember that outside of being like, if we're doing a Derek White highlight package. But I don't think, especially playing on a storied team like the Boston Celtics, who have had just thousands and thousands of playoff moments and finals moments, I don't know if that sticks out. Losing in the conference finals to an 8 seed after going down 3-0 and almost choking a game away to then just choke the next game away. I don't know if that moment matters at all, right? And there's been a couple of them this postseason in general. I don't want to just talk about the Celtics, but right, you got Tatum dropping 51 in Game 7, all of that stuff. None of it matters. And so I started thinking about in recent history, some that stood out to me. And again, this was expressed in an NBA Top Shot moment, right? Like a moment that you would need. So I thought, since NBA Top Shot, let's think about some of those moments that exist and if anybody cares about it. So the list that I came up with, and then I'd love to hear some of yours. The game winner from the Phoenix Suns against the Los Angeles Clippers, DeAndre Ayton on the inbound pass, the valley-oop, throws it down. Fast forward a couple years later, they lose in the NBA Finals. Then we've already mentioned they've got waxed at home against the Mavericks and then again against the Denver Nuggets. Ayton probably on his way out. The coach is gone. Thought that was a good one. Next up, Luka. Luka had remember that bubble 3 against the Clippers? Was that in the first round, the 3-6 matchup or 4-5 matchup? Hits that step back bubble 3, game winner, huge moment. I think the only reason we remember that right now is because we say bubble 3 because it was a moment some people went to try to buy on Top Shot. I don't know if the Mavericks think about that. I don't know if Luka thinks about that. Anyways, Luka bubble 3. Next up, KD, foot on the line. They would go on. So KD, his feet are too big. It ends up being a 2 instead of a game-winning 3. I don't know if this one really qualifies because it just ended up being a 2-pointer. But everybody thought, holy crap, iconic moment. I don't know who thinks could have been what could have been. Another one, Jason Tatum's buzzer beater against the Nets in the first round. Remember, it was game 1. And I think there was some other things that come into play here. It ended up being a 4-game sweep. It was the first round. Sorry, I think my Wi-Fi is being a little bubbly right now. We'll let that reset here for a second. Come on. Come on. How bad is... All right, I think we're back. But that Tatum game winner, right? Where Marcus Smart, it looks like time's going to expire without a shot getting off, finds Tatum cutting, lays it in, game winner. It's a great moment. I don't think anybody thinks about it anymore. Trae Young. Last time Trae Young was relevant, right? That iconic Madison Square Garden moment where he shushes the crowd, right? But then when you go on to lose, like, and that made me think, like, do any of these matter? Shiggins, OG Anunoby hit a court, right? Was it a corner 3 against the Celtics? Would go on to lose. So it just made me wonder, like, do those moments matter? And no, I don't mean just in NBA Top Shot, but even as like a fan of those teams, do those moments matter? Because I don't know. Again, as a Celtics as a Celtics fan, that Derek White moment was cool. That Derek White play was cool. I will think about. No, I don't think as a Celtics fan I'll ever think about that. I'll be like, wow, that was fun. I was at a bar for that. That was fun. But I don't think I'm going to think like lovingly about it. Cool thing about Whites was it staved off elimination with a buzzer beater, which almost never happens. Yeah, buzzer beater that extended the season, right? I think some other examples that are pretty cool that, like, if I had to think of one that actually works, one that we think about, and it's only because it's been memed, is like Dame Lillard's game winners, right? Dame is treated differently. I don't know why we treat Dame so differently, but we do. We do. Boston Face says, I'm a Celtics fan. That moment won't be forgotten, but it won't matter. I don't think that moment matters. I don't think it's going to, like, that moment is a reminder that the team lost to an 8 seed after going in a 3-0 hole. It's going to be a reminder of what this season was. A huge disappointment. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. But yeah, I think Jump Shoot says Steph's 50-point game in game 7. Yeah, I already said Tatum's 51-point game. I think Steph's is would have been a little bit more iconic. Would have been a little bit more iconic if he still held the record, right? But to immediately lose that record to Tatum right after that. Stan says, I'm not buying moments right now, but I bought Jimmy's 56-point playoff game moment. Yeah, and I guess, like, context matters, right? When you're the 8 seed, it's different. And maybe that's why we do treat Dame differently, because they've never really been favorites. Tesla says, I think it can also depend on what the Celtics do the next few years. If they win a title, I could see it being looked upon favorably. You know what, though? This is what I would compare it to, Tesla. I would compare it to the 2003 Boston Red Sox. I don't look back fondly on the 2003 seasons, where they lost to the Yankees with the Aaron Boone walk-off home run. Like, I don't really think about anything that happened during that playoff run except for the fact that we lost. What I do think about, if they do go on to win a title, I'll think about moments from that season, Again, I think it'll be thought of more fondly in Derek White real packages, right? So if Derek White goes on to have like another 5-year run with the Celtics, and maybe not even that long, 3-year run with the Celtics, and just play well, right? Just play well. Maybe they win a finals. I think then when we look at Derek White's highlight reel, that's absolutely in there. That's absolutely in there. I don't know. Mike, you need to practice being more of a positive person. Sorry, are you guys buying moments right now? Is that why you feel bad? And I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about it when I saw a tweet about that. I was like, "Oh, I wonder are there moments?" Because and I wasn't even thinking about it from the NBA top. I'm not thinking about it like, "Oh, do we go buy this?" I'm just straight up thinking about being a fan. Are there moments that ended up being failures that I think about fondly? And maybe it's because I'm a part of a fan base that has won regularly. I mean, even as a Celtics fan, I really only remember one of those. I only remember one of those chips. Um, no, I'm not saying I'm out on Derek White. I'm saying I don't think that it's an iconic thing. I don't think it's an iconic thing. Same Tesla said some fans are a sucker for the journey, like all the pain of LeBron owning the Raps. Mhm. The Lowry half court shot versus the Heat to force overtime. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? But I guess that goes back to the context again, though, right? Where the Raptors hadn't won anything yet, and then you finally get over the hump. Um, Maddie says, I finally remember Billups in game 5 of the '04 Eastern Conference Finals hitting a half quarter to force OT, but they lost the game. Yeah, but they ultimately won the championship, right? Yeah. Yeah, Boston base disagrees. That's fine. You guys can disagree. I just don't. Are you guys thinking, what about, okay, let's go back to I agree. Bam's block wouldn't be iconic if we didn't beat the Celtics in the bubble. Yeah, if you lose that series. But like the DeAndre Ayton one is my favorite example. Everybody was losing their mind when that happened. And now we look at the Suns as like, oh, choke artists, right? So I don't think anybody's thinking about the valley oop. But I don't know. I think it depends on the context. I think if you're a team, like, yeah, I don't know. And I think because, like, if Denver loses the finals, okay. Oh, hey, Boston base. This is interesting because you famously just fud Giannis out of nowhere whenever you're feeling bad about the Celtics. So it's interesting that you put that comment in there. Um, I think context is interesting. Like if Denver, even though this is Denver's first finals, if Denver loses the championship this year, if they lose to the Heat, I think you look at it very differently, right? You look at it very differently because they are the big time betting favorites. They're the 1 seed playing an 8 seed, and I think you would look at this finals run a little bit differently. However, if Miami loses in the finals, they're the 8 seed. They're not even supposed to be there. It's house money. It's house money. Borland said this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I enjoy moments from games I attended. There you go. And again, I know financial value seems to change the importance of the moment. Yeah, again, not even trying to talk about Top Shot. I mean, it was a Top Shot tweet that made me think of this, but I'm just talking about like do the moments themselves stick out to you? And I just think for most of the time, for the stuff that sticks out to me, it comes from. I mean, I guess to Borland's point, like if I was there, you remember the memory around it more than anything else. But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting conversation when I was thinking about those. Like especially the stuff that happened in the bubble with nobody there. Like that Luca bubble. Yeah. Anyways, I thought that was an interesting conversation. I hope you did too. I hope you did too. Like the stream, subscribe, hashtag game one. Hashtag game one. We'll give something away here in a little bit. Just a reminder too, no NBA bit tomorrow or Monday. Oh no, Mike, you're good. You're good, Mike. Also, let's do another reminder over this. I made a little short out of it yesterday, but we are getting closer. We're getting closer to La Viva Las Vegas. We'll be out at Park MGM July 6th to the 9th or the 10th, depending on when you fly out. We're going to Summer League games on Friday the 7th. It's the first official day of Summer League. We bought some tickets already. We will be there. The NBA convention, bought some tickets. We will be there on Saturday, the 8th. Team Hold live show is going to be that Friday afternoon, I think 5 to 7. We'll have a happy hour over at Beer Park in Paris. There's some UFC stuff going on. I've been watching a ton of poker videos because the World Series of Poker started. I'm ready to handball. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Mike asks, how close are we to 10K? We are at 9,456 right now. 56. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Dude, take a fucking train, we the people. Get your ass out there. Yeah, we're at 9,456, though. We're getting closer. It slowed down. There was a big algorithm pump early in the playoffs because all of these fan bases were just jumping. I want to audit of these contests. I see people cheating. You know who you are. Multiple. Ooh, there we go, Tesla. 10K by Vegas. I think we should, Shiggins. We should. That gives us just over a month. We should hit 10K. We should hit 10K by Vegas. It would be kind of, like, I obviously want to hit 10K sooner than Vegas. It would be kind of fun to hit 10K while we were at Vegas. We've got a lot of fun short form stuff. I also should say we're 3 weeks away, June 22nd. I'm going to be at the NBA draft with my man Justin Catchins. We'll be making some content as well. So should be a good time. Should be a good time, baby. No, we're not gambling the oversubscribed fund. I mean, technically we're gambling it in becoming a successful content creator. So technically we are. But I think that's it, guys. I don't think I have that much more. What else you want to talk about? You have anything else you want to fire in? Is the draft in New York? Yeah, it's at the Barclays Center. So we'll be taking the NW train all the way to Atlantic Avenue. And then I've got a little fun tiny mic we'll be putting on. Actually, it's bigger than the mic though that we used at the All-Star game. Is Lonzo ever going to play again? It doesn't sound like it. All the reports sound pretty bad. I think we talked about that last week, but it does. It sounds like it's going to be pretty bad. So we'll see. Let's talk about the weather. Well, I'm actually a little disappointed. I'm flying out tonight or this afternoon, actually, to Virginia, Norfolk, kid. Flying to Norfolk, kid. And I think it's going to be a lot warmer in New York than it is in Virginia. So Virginia Beach, I mean, I guess it's going to get to 70 today, tomorrow, and Saturday. New York, though, it's going to be 84 today, 87 tomorrow, 70, 74. Man, dumber. Oh, yeah, we should do some underdog. You might move to Virginia soon? Damn. Yeah, the Lonzo stuff is a real bummer. I totally agree. The Lonzo stuff is a real bummer. Can I do underdog in Virginia? I should look that up before I go in case I need to make some more pick'ems before I get out of here. You know what I mean? All right, let's go. Let's take a look. We'll do a pick'em for today. We'll do an NBA Finals pick'em, and then we'll get out of here. We'll get out of here, Ken. All right, sorry, my computer's tweaking. All right, let's see. Let's go over to the pick'ems, NBA Finals. All right. Game one, a real feel out for game one. All right, yeah, Virginia does. Okay. Let's see. Wait, you can't do it in Virginia? Oh wow. What's the plus one? Oh yeah, you can bring plus ones. Hell yeah, Boston base. The more the merrier. Honestly, I'm nervous we won't have. I want to make sure we have as many people as possible for the live show. So yeah, bring +5. I don't care how many people you bring. Bring +5. All right, let's figure this out. I think this is going to be. I think Jokic. I want the over on the Jokic points, depending on what it is here. 27. I'm going to take the over. I think Miami. This is going to be my take early on. I think Miami is going to say, you know what, Jokic, get as many points as you want. We'd rather you score than just dime everybody up. So we're going to take the over on 27.5 points. That's going to be my early lean because I bet by game 3, his over-under is at 31.5. That's our take right now. 27.5 points. Actually, let's try to do this. I'm going to try to do this so the AI picks it up. So I'm going to say it again, which is weird if you're listening to this on a podcast, but whatever. You're just going to have to deal with it. This is like how the sausage gets made. So going into game 1 of the NBA Finals, I'm going to take the over of Nikola Jokic, 27.5 points, because I think Miami's going to force him to score. They don't want him diming up everybody for wide open threes. So I think by game 3, Jokic's over-under is going to be up 4 or 5 more points. We'll put it up at like 31.5. There we go. Get that AI cooking, baby. Hit that AI. I know we like to make fun of that. It's actually, I think it's so crazy. All of those shorts that you've been seeing me throw out there, they cook that up for us, which is great. Which is great. I'm sure it'll eventually take my face and put it on porn or something. But until then, all right. So you're saying the over, what did I see? KCP3. Yeah, I like the Michael Porter Jr. boards. I like that. Michael Porter Jr. Oh, 7.5 boards. Yes. Yes. Let's do what do we got on Miami though? So Miami 20.5 points and rebounds. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm so nervous about the Miami stuff here. What do we like from Miami? Stan, what do you like from Miami in this series? Caleb Martin. Does Caleb Martin continue to cook? This is a great point, Maddie. Over on Gabe threes. They haven't been listing threes lately. Yeah. So over on Gabe 3. So it's got for Gabe Vincent, they have 12.5 points, 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Do you just go over on the points? Hey, great call. Raise it says Jokic should score 30 plus in every finals game at plus 5,500. Love that. Martin rebounds, huh? So Caleb Martin's numbers are 24.5 points, rebounds, and 7 rebounds. That's so many. You think he's going to get 7 rebounds? Top Shot coming, man. What about Jimmy? I'm very curious what the Jimmy Aaron Gordon matchup is going to be. Let's see some other Miami stuff. We've got Max Strus, 9.5 points. Duncan Robinson, 8.5 points, 11.5 points. I wish they did threes. Jimmy's got 13.5 points and rebounds. Rebounds and assists, 27.5 points. Jimmy's assists are at 6 assists, 6 dimes. Yeah, we already have MPJ rebounds. We got that one. Excuse me. You got a burp right in there. Lowry assists. What do Lowry assists look like? They've got 6.5 rebounds and assists. So it includes it. Wow. That kind of looks nice. Man. Yes, I know the Martin's been great. 7 rebounds makes me nervous. The thing is, Denver has just a bunch of 7-footers, basically. This is such a big team. I mean, not 7-footers, but Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., and Aaron Gordon, they are all bigger than Bam, I think. All right, over on Duncan points. Let's do it. Over on the Duncan points. Let's let it rip. We'll put 25 on here to 6x, 25 to win 150. If you haven't signed up for UnderdogFantasy.com, here, I'm going to drop a link after I make this pick. I'm going to drop a link. You can either follow this pick or fade this pick. But join Underdog Fantasy. When you deposit, your first deposit, use promo code HOLD, HOLD. They get you a 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. $100. All right, let's fire up our giveaway here. If you haven't done it yet, this is your last call. Like the stream. Subscribe. Put hashtag game1 into the chat. Appreciate everyone being here. Hope you guys have a good week. I'm so excited for the finals. Stay tuned. I'll figure out how to throw a little bit of content out there for you tomorrow. And then Monday night, I probably will try to do something Monday night just because 2 games of the finals without a show feels insane. So I'm going to try to do something. But yeah, make sure you engage with all the shorts. Follow us on Twitter. Do all of those things. I'm trying to think. Book Vegas, baby. We need more Vegas. Get out there for Las Vegas. Join the Discord. Let us know you're coming. And excited for it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you win, shoot me a DM at Mike's Karen or in the Discord. Let's see. Who's it going to be now? Sneeps. Wow, Sneeps. Back-to-back Sneeps. I'm going to give away 2 things because Sneeps also technically won the last one. So let's re-roll. Re-roll, baby. Let's see. We got Sneeps for the winner. And then we also got Jockey Delta, baby. Jockey Delta. If you are a Nuggets fan, you know I'm rooting for you. But, for Stan, Veronica, Ransom Reed, there's another one that I'm forgetting, Gus Goons. I know you guys are rooting for Miami. I can respect the run of an 8 seed. You know what I mean? They're going to be fun. Either way, I think I'll be happy. I'll be rooting for it either way. I'm rooting for good fun, good, clean fun. Have a great weekend, everybody. We are out.